Hey, what's up, everyone? In this video, I'm going to talk about what does it mean to be spiritual. Well, there's this idea, that you gotta kind of meditate all the time, and meditate every day, or whatever, which is beneficial. Now, keep in mind that meditation itself can be pretty much anything. You don't actually have to, sit and in a legs crossed, hands on knees position or something like that. I mean, you can do that, and I do that at times, and that does work wonderfully. But meditation can be many things. Meditation can be listening to music you like. Meditation can be cleaning if you like, to do so. It can be reading a book. It can be going for a walk. It can be painting, sketching a picture, drawing a picture. Pretty much anything to take your mind and focus on something is what meditation is. Now, other types of things, diet. There's this kind of idea, and that we should eat non-GMO foods, organic, and stuff like that, which is kind of from what I've seen or what I've reviewed, and I've even shared some things, is kind of interpretation, is what your belief is. Do you believe what you're eating is bad for you or good for you? We base everything on our belief system, so as that kind of influences our consumption of things, as well as the world around us, so the world around us is telling us to eat this and not to eat this, or to eat this or not to eat this, or whatever. So basically, I would say follow your own intuition, follow your own feelings about what it is you want. Don't do anything that because someone else tells you should or whatever. And let's see, there's the idea of the whole new age kind of thing, which me personally, I'm not a fan of that term. I mean, I don't really, I've seen, things like, the whole the idea of everyone has these crystals, and everyone has again, with meditation and a diet, and dressing, you wear certain clothing or whatever, and that's pretty much what the idea of trying to steer away from a religious idea comes from. Like, that's kind of, in a way, the New Age thing has become a religion of sorts, if you will. So I don't choose to identify that term, and other than the simple literal definition of the name, like, this is a New Age, if you will. This is like, that's all the term should kind of be applied for. But again, the human mind likes to label things and whatnot, and it doesn't mean that these things are beneficial. It doesn't mean that any of these things do or don't work. I I do use a lot of these tools as well, and this is also part of magic and many ancient knowledge and whatever, and crystals do in fact have energy, and then meditation does work. So a lot of these things do work. It's just kind of the culmination of them, and that has gotten to the point of if you don't do this, you're not spiritual or whatever, which is kind of like what. But anyway, like, if you don't do this, you're not, whatever, and this is the whole point of where we are at this time period. We are at the point of kind of experimenting with ourselves, if you will, of exploring and learning what it is we can do, because we now have this knowledge, and we're starting to get this knowledge that we can literally do anything, right? but we are here as well. Basically, we're here to kind of share this knowledge with others and bring others, and and if whatever, you gotta do what's right for you. What the common grounds among I'm seeing among many, is seen with many, is we all want to help one another. We are all here to help one another. We all have these awesome creative abilities and various ideas, many inventions, many ways to help humanity, to help other, to further the progression of the world, which is what this new age is, if you will. This is the point of our awakening. This is the point of where we've had this knowledge for literally centuries, from BC, from ancient Gnosticism, philosophers, writers, poets, now musicians, and it's just now we're starting to kind of grasp this information and starting to dive into it and explore it and see it, and we will be at that. Eventually, we will get to that point, and as fast or as slow as an individual decides to get to that point is, of course, up to them. I mean, you can get to that point as the human defines a year, or it can be overnight or whatever. It depends on your path and what it is you wish to do in this world, in your reality. Now, as more and more become aware, you will start to definitely notice the changes that are already have occurred in the world, as a collective, what you have done, through, when you look at the legal system and you look at everything that's happening. Pretty much everything in the world is a combination of everyone's ideas coming together and just blah, like all types of and that goes for the negative and the positive. There's so much mixture of this and that and whatever, kind of back and forth, and this is why the world is the way it is. This is why, and within the lower dimensions, or within all the dimensions, which I'll probably speak about in another video, but with all the dimensions, you have within 3D. There's the first and second, or which the first and second dimensions is kind of where, from what I understand, or from what I sense and what I feel, is where, like, now I'm gonna use the term here, darker entities, or those types of entities stay and live, and that's their world, and that's where they're there. They live there, so that's fine for them. The third dimension, I know I just said I talk about this, but whatever. Okay, so the third dimension is kind of a little bit up from that. The third dimension is being physical, not really thinking that this world is all there is, pretty much, and thinking that you're just in this body, you're gonna live in this body and you're gonna die, and not, right? The fourth dimension is the mix of that. The fourth dimension is kind of what we're seeing now in the world, the culmination of enlightenment, as well as the moving out of the other dimensions, and as we move out of those dimensions, the other ones kind of come in. And the fifth dimension and sixth and seventh and eighth and so on are the higher dimensions, the higher consciousness, the much higher, which is the levels that we are trying to get to at this point, if you will. Through little by little, we will get to this point. Perhaps not in our lifetime right now, and that's okay, because we are truly creating some awesome things. And if we do get to it in our lifetime, whatever. But the point of the matter is, and that's kind of another thing is we're trying to get to this point, right, of of being able to do everything all at once. Well, if we get there like the drop of a hat, then what's the point of being here now? I mean, we came here for a reason. Whatever the reason, we decided to come here into these vessels, into our bodies as we are now, and we came here and we decided to be here and to do this, and for that purpose, to change the world and to bring about that change of creating the world for the better, seeing through the illusion of lies, through mainstream media, through the lower dimensions. This is the thing. This is kind of our job, if you will, is to not in like a for lack of a better word, asshole-ish way, but to kind of expose the lies, to kind of bring about that truth, and as you see the progression, as you see it everywhere, it's becoming more and more rampant, and things are starting to pick up and things are starting to change and whatever. But I mean, yes, not everyone is at the everywhere or whatever. Not everyone is on the same page. Not everyone's on the same page, and that's okay. Everyone has their own path to follow, and and as well as you have your own path to follow. And as we learn, that's the wonderful thing about being here with one another, is we get to explore and learn from one another, as well as we teach others and stuff. And we are at the point of letting go of many things, the release of things, the release of the ideas of land ownership, the ideas of currency for that matter, the ideas of races, of sexualities, of things of that nature. And as these things happen, as these things progress more and more, the more that's as these things happen, that actually is signs of the higher dimensions, because in the higher dimensions, those things don't matter. Who you are, if you're male or female, does not matter in the higher dimensions. If you're gay, straight, bi, lesbian, whatever, does not matter in the higher dimensions. If you're black, white, Asian, Latino, etc., does not matter in the higher dimensions. If you're tall, short, fat, skinny, those type of things, does not matter in the higher dimensions. So these are all human ideas. These are all ideas we've been programmed with for centuries. So as as we go on and as we continue to obtain this knowledge and attain to hold this knowledge in as best we are able to, then we are able to progress fully. And and yes, you will definitely have those moments. I mean, you're gonna have a mixture of moments, where you do feel kind of you're. It's okay to be aware, or it's okay to be still be human. It's okay to be you. That's who you are. Don't. That's the whole point of this. Is don't latch on to this idea that you have to be this thing, and you can't enjoy, like, having a drink once in a while, or having a cigarette, or whatever you like to do. And that's what I mean, those types of things are very, like, shunned upon by many in the spiritual community. Like, you should only, again, and that's judgment. Okay, so be you, pretty much. As long as you're not excessively, obviously, as long as as long as it's not causing detrimental obstruction to what it is that you want to achieve, I would say, then do what you want to do. Because even though you're awesomely created, and we're all awesome, creator beings, we still got to take time for ourselves, right? We still got to, I mean, we're still in this world, per se, so there's no right or wrong of what you want to do on your free time, or on your, when you're not in working with a collective, I guess, as an individual, because, as an individual, you also want to be expressive of yourself as well. So, and that's fine. It's whatever you want to do. If you choose to, decorate decorate yourself, or your living areas with crystals and statues and stuff of that nature, and that is that's perfectly fine. I mean, again, I have a few of those as well. So, I mean, if you choose to decorate your room with posters of pop culture icons and stuff like that, and like other I mean, that's fine too. It's whatever you wish to do. Okay, don't let the influence of the idea that you shouldn't hold on to the negative side of the world, because truly nothing is positive or negative in a sense. It's all an experience. It's all part of your experience, right? So, and just know, and just kind of go with the flow. Go with what you want to do, and listen to the heart. The heart space is connected to the higher self. As you align, which is another, this is kind of, I know I'm kind of all over the place here, but as you you will have those moments where you will be very, and more so as you become more and more, as you progress more and more, they will happen more rapidly. But as you you will have those moments where you will hear something, you will be watching the movie and whatever, you will be listening to your song or whatever, or doing whatever, and or looking online, and the higher self starts to kick in, and the higher self is always there. The higher self always knows, but just listen to it. And when you have those moments of you're going to get angry. Okay, don't let anyone tell you you're still human. You're gonna get angry, but the time, recognize what it is that's causing it, and see if there's a pattern. Perhaps there's a pattern that you need to learn. Perhaps there's something that you can get from it. Maybe it's the situation could be your experience of reaching out to another. It can be doing something, I mean, look at everything from every possible angle. I mean, I've had to learn this as well, so we're not like superhuman just yet, right? So, but yeah, I mean, just do what it is that is your best nature, and everything will work out in your best alignment. So yeah, gonna peace out for now, and talk to you guys soon.